I'm not ready for this one. That's all I'm gonna say, because I have it up on my other screen and I'm like, boy. Anyways, I'm not ready for it because it's just so different from anything we would normally see from our boy. So Zane was the surprise that I didn't think, I didn't expect him. I really didn't. And I'm excited. But I am scared. I am afraid. So, pray for me. We doing it. We doing it though. We full sending it because we can. Also, what does it mean to new life? Are we having a baby? The answer to that is absolutely not. Okay. That's crazy.
That damn predator. They didn't catch up, right?
Whoa. Ha!
It's you, Warden. So you were the predator this whole time, Zane. I'll have you know I donated money to build a statue in front of the city hall. I'm Lincoln's most
Corrupt bastard. We just started. And I'm already like, delicious. I'll take 14. The ice shards pierce his body and silence him.
I don't need to know that.
I forgot he does that. Okay. Anyways.
Boss.
What? My boss? Troubled, I stare at the words case closure report form on my computer screen. My junior leans over from her workstation and calls out to me in a low voice. Shush, we're still in the office. The bureau chief might nag you if he hears you.
Okay, Miss Enforcer.
Okay, don't use that tone with me.
I heard the bureau chief say the serial killer we're investigating murdered the councilman yesterday.
You're telling me they said, why don't we just, like, pull a little Dawnbreaker in, you know? How dare you make him a serial killer? Ooh, my dark romance heart is beating.
They also said they're closing the case and won't pursue it any further.
Wow. Okay. Why does this keep happening? I turn my attention to the serial killer's file and start reading it. The suspect is male, real name unknown. The Lincoln City Bureau of Investigation, or LCBI, gave him the codename Galen. Over the past 5 years, Galen has been responsible for numerous crimes targeting political figures and business tycoons. In addition, there have been eyewitness reports of Galen killing predators who've lost their minds across Lincoln. After conducting multiple on-site investigations, the LCBI has determined that Galen isn't an ordinary person. He's a predator, a triple S Class 1 to be exact. This is the highest threat level one can receive.
Whenever we're halfway through an investigation, they close the case. But Galen is strange too. He's a predator, yet he's killing other predators.
You're not playing like Pink Panther ass music right now. Don't do that. Have you finished analyzing the security camera footage I asked you to check a few days ago?
I have. Take a look at this. The last trace of Galen shows him passing by Oxo Clinic in the Southern District.
What? Hearing that familiar name, I can't help but freeze for a moment. Oh my god, freeze.
Yeah, it's Oxo Clinic. Is there a problem?
No. It's nothing. Did the security cameras get a clear image of the serial killer?
I'm afraid not. He seems to know the area well and managed to avoid them.
Like, I'm gonna be so real. Zane really would be a great serial killer. That sounds horrifying, but like, you know what I mean? He's meticulous. He's a Virgo. I'm also a Virgo, so I'm not that. I shouldn't have said things.
What do you think? Is it possible that Galen used to live in the Southern District?
You have a point. If it really is him.
But the footage is from last year. We couldn't find him back then, so can we even track him down with this?
I pull out a stack of papers from my desk and flip through them. These are the files of Galen's victims that I've been investigating. Whether they're well-known businessmen or political figures, all the victims have one thing in common. After the Predator virus outbreak 5 years ago, they were involved in its secondary transmission. They even profiteered from the situation. The killer's motive is now obvious. The murdered councilman from last night was one of them. Investigating Galen will inevitably uncover the shady deals of powerful figures. No wonder the LCBI keeps insisting I close the case immediately. Cowards. My phone buzzes. A travel ad pops up on the illuminated screen. I tap on it and a scene unfolds. Vast snowfields, spruce trees covered in fresh snow, and a snowman wearing a scarf. Maybe I should just walk away from this. Why should I care about what happens in Lincoln? Might as well move to a place that hasn't been touched by the Predator virus and live a carefree life. I can start over from scratch. Do you hear that Pink Panther-ass music? I sigh and my gaze falls onto the surveillance footage my subordinate gave me once more. It was the only lead on Galen that the LCBI managed to obtain in the past 5 years. It's been a long time since I heard the name Oxo. Zane, I wonder where he is now. After careful consideration, I pick up the motorcycle keys from my desk and stand up.
Are you going to investigate Oxo Clinic?
Okay, shut up. I give a small smile and gently guide her back to her seat. I'm taking some time off. Can you let our chief know? And shut your mouth. Snitches get stitches. I went to Oxo Clinic. Of course I can't openly admit I'm investigating a case that was ordered to be closed, especially when it involves many crucial secrets. The streets of the Southern District feel strange yet familiar. Before long, I find myself standing in front of Oxo Clinic. As I push open the dust-covered glass door, it feels like a switch is flipped in my mind. Fragments of memories rush in at the same time. It all started 5 years ago. At the time, I wasn't an enforcer in the Northern District. I was a bounty hunter scraping by in the Southern District. I took whatever jobs I could find, or I could get. In an unexpected turn of events, I was bitten and wounded by a predator. I spent what felt like an eternity searching for a clinic. Clutching my injury, I finally collapsed at the door of Oxo Clinic. The pain slowly subsided. It seems my wound was treated and bandaged.
You're awake.
Bless the individual who said, "You know, that fit looked good on him. Let's use it again." Bless that individual. In stark contrast to the gentle hands that had carefully treated my injury, the owner's face was as emotionless as a glacier. That's crazy. They really do pull out all the stops to use, like, ice puns. Was I unconscious for a long time? You're...
Zane. And to answer your previous question, it's been 3 hours. That's a long time, I believe.
Oh, wow. I thought doctors were supposed to have good bedside manners. This guy did get the memo. Girl, he just saved your life. Shut up. Girl, you... My eyes drifted from the open until 10 p.m. sign on the wall to the clock. It was midnight. My gaze then shifted to the side room where I saw several pet carriers of various sizes. Oh my god. That is the most like a child was told to meow. A kitten suddenly jumped onto Zane's shoulder. Why couldn't you have animated that? It would have been so good. It leaned down to look me straight in the eye. Am I in a vet clinic?
Behave. And get down, please.
Would y'all judge me if I save that as one of my favorite voice lines? Stop. Looks like he treats cats better than people. Valid. I relate so hard. I moved my arm a little before getting up to leave. A bottle of medicine was quickly thrust in front of me.
Take these when the pain becomes severe. No more than 2 a day.
Oh, this medicine looks expensive. No thanks. I don't have a lot of money, so I can't afford to buy it.
It's free. Happy birthday.
What? This motherfucker really said happy birthday. He placed the medicine bottle in my hand. Huh? What?
I saw your patient profile in the system. Your birthday is the same as today's date.
Oh.
Consider it a gift.
That's a lovely gift.
But judging by your expression, some of that information isn't accurate.
Zane is right. It's a date I randomly made up when filling out forms as a kid. I can't believe it's actually today. As I looked at the bottle of medicine in my hand, which was elevated to a gift, I hesitated. Then I decided to keep it to myself. I reacted that way because this is the first time I've ever received a birthday gift.
I see. Well, you can go now.
Okay. His dismissal was so sudden that it stunned me. Before I can fully process what happened, Zane's back already faced me. He was seated at a microscope, and I couldn't help but reveal a small, bewildered smile. Thank you for the gift, Dr. Zane. The date might be made up, but what I said was true. This was the first birthday gift I've ever received. I have a secret. A few years ago, a radiation leak in a lab in the Northern District triggered a wave of psychic disturbances that soon swept over Lincoln City, warping the minds of ordinary people and turning many into violent predators. One bite from these predators was all it took to spread the infection, transforming others in their wake. Fear settled over the city, and in an instant, no one felt truly safe. However, I'm immune to this disease. Zane discovered this while treating my wound. After that day, I found myself frequently visiting an Oxo clinic to gauge Zane's reaction. But he never said a word about it. He silently protected my secret. Through my frequent visits, I discovered something about this taciturn, seemingly aloof veterinarian. Zane is also a predator. And just as he kept my secret, I remained silent about his condition. Our shared secrets brought us together at Oxo Clinic. Even though Zane rarely initiated a conversation, he never asked me to leave. Time flew just like that. Before long, I had to say goodbye to him. My God, they're friends! Dr. Zane. The familiar figure was hunched over the microscope. I walked into Oxo Clinic with my pet turtle in my arms. Zane slightly tilted his head to glance at me.
Neither you nor the turtle appear to be injured. Why are you here?
I'm leaving. I wanted to say goodbye in person. His hand paused on the microscope's adjustment knobs. Zane turned to face me.
Where?
I'll be heading to the Northern District, the LCBI, here. I showed him my phone screen with the job offer from the LCBI with its official seal at the bottom. That's a heavy sigh, my love. For some reason, he was unusually quiet. Don't look so sad. I'm only moving to the Northern District. I'll still visit you whenever I can.
Give me your hand.
Why?
The LCBI staff frequently interact with the predators. To ensure their employees don't become one, they conduct routine blood tests. If you want to keep your secret, give me your hand.
Honestly, I would have given you my hand without that reason. While I was skeptical, I trusted him. I offered him my hand. He quickly brought out a tourniquet and secured it around my arm. How do you know? I wasn't mentioned in the recruitment posters or the job offer.
Your turtle is about to fall off the table.
The turtle! Even though I knew it was a distraction, I still turned to look. As I reached out with one hand to catch my turtle, Zane swiftly inserted a needle into my other arm. Bright red blood slowly filled the syringe. I couldn't help but crack a joke. They say blood gets predators really riled up. You worked as a veterinarian for years. Has the sight of blood ever made you go into a frenzy? I also heard that some predators have an activator implanted in them. When they enter a frenzied state, finding that activator is the only way to calm them down. Do you have one by any chance?
Are you certain you want to discuss this while I'm drawing your blood?
I mean, there's not really a better time. It's not like I have other predator friends to talk to.
Don't move.
Okay.
Also, you wouldn't be sitting here asking questions if I lost control that easily.
Once he was done taking my blood, he walked to the cabinet, retrieved a few small vials, and returned to his desk to mix something. A few minutes later, he gave me a bottle of capsules.
One capsule lasts 2 hours. It should be enough to get you through the medical examination.
You know, I secretly thought you lacked bedside manners when we first met.
If you're looking for a warm, kind-hearted doctor, try the clinic down the street. You might have better luck there.
Oh, that won't be necessary. It turns out my first impression was wrong. I have first-hand experience with your care now. It's just, you should smile a little more. You'll look more approachable then.
I'm too busy for that. Smiling isn't in my schedule.
That's the most Virgo thing I've ever heard, sir, please. Let me hug you. After tidying up his desk, Zane walked to the building's entrance and flipped the open sign to close the clinic for the day. The sunlight outside was inviting. I sat on the steps by the clinic's entrance and tugged at Zane's sleeve. I gestured for him to join me. Despite his apparent reluctance, he sat down next to me. Aren't you curious about why I want to join the LCBI?
If you want to tell me, you may.
Well, I feel like Lincoln is my home. I grew up here, and I want to do something for it. As a bounty hunter, I can only do so much, but as an enforcer, I might be able to make a difference. I raised my hand until my fingers appeared to bridge the gap between the northern and southern districts. I touched the corner of the LCBI building in the distance.
The northern district is 100 times more dangerous than this place. Be careful.
I heard from other bounty hunters that you're from the northern district. Is that true?
Yes.
I guess we'll eventually run into each other in the northern district someday. It'll be something to look forward to, Dr. Zane. After that, I was swept up in a whirlwind of work. I barely had a moment to catch my breath. It wasn't until my first vacation that I finally had a chance to return to the Southern District and visit Zane. But he was gone. Axo Clinic was covered in a thick layer of dust. The aloof doctor vanished into the distant memories of my past, just like that. Although it's been 5 years, the memories are as crisp and clear as a freshly printed document. Inside Axo Clinic, everything remains the same. Every piece of furniture and item is in the same spot I remember them being in, all familiar to me like the back of my hand. The investigation comes first. I scan the room, but before I can activate my iris scanner, the door behind me bursts open. Who's there? Oh. In one swift motion, I draw my gun and turn. I aim my weapon at the intruder, but he sneers and raises his hand in mock surrender.
Really, Enforcer? You can't recognize your own colleagues now. Oh, wait. You're not one of us anymore.
Wait, what? What? Oh, great. With a wave of his hand, the enforcer signals his teammates. I'm surrounded by a swarm of enforcers with their weapons pointed at me. What do you think you're doing? Are you here to arrest me? Where's your warrant? Who authorized this? As if he's been waiting for me to ask that, the enforcer produces a formal document with an official stamp.
The LCBI has evidence of your involvement in smuggling an illegal substance, Frenzy Enhancer.
What? I never...
This is your termination notice. Your arrest warrant and order to apprehend you were signed by the bureau chief himself.
He wants her to stop investigating. She didn't stop, so he has to, like, get rid of her.
Give up.
I try to resist, but it's pointless. I'm outnumbered in this situation. Someone framed me.
Save your excuses for prison. Who knows? Maybe our kind-hearted warden will be more amicable to your story.
This is gonna be awkward. I am the one in prison? That's crazy. That's unexpected. Wait, why would they put her in the predator prison? The LCBI usually interrogates suspects before transferring them to the prison. Throwing me into a cell like this, something's not right. As a theory forms in my mind, I can't help but let out a bitter laugh. First they shut down my investigation, and then this happened. They must be desperate to cover up their schemes of profiting from the virus.
0905, out!
Why?
The warden wants you.
That sounds hot. Sorry. I begrudgingly follow the guard through the long corridor as we make our way to the second floor. Disgusting.
Warden's gonna tear you apart! Saves us the trouble.
Disgusting. The prisoner's shrill taunts fill my ear. Annoyed, I shake my head. I look at the cells around me. Each one has a predator I arrested over the past 5 years. Ew. They threw me into a den with my enemies. I guess they want me to disappear without a trace. You're getting on my nerves. Can't you all just shut? A bone-chilling cold suddenly surges up from the ground. It's as if everything is frozen in place, yet I can move around freely. The shining around me has stopped, but I don't know when that happened. What? Sorry, I'm okay. He's gonna look so good. I'm just gonna be angry. I wanted to say angry and angry, and it came out angry. On the second floor corridor of the prison, a tall figure stands in the darkness. His face is obscured.
Silence!
Was that really him? That's crazy. A biting chill permeates the air as the prisoners are frozen in a thick layer of ice.
This is the punishment for not learning to keep your mouth shut.
Hot. Sorry.
Take her to my office.
Fine. I'm fine. He turns and leaves, and I only catch a glimpse of his retreating figure. But that's all I need to recognize who he is. Zane. Why is he here? Ooh,
Sit down, and don't try anything funny while you wait. The warden will be here soon.
First off, I was just gonna compliment the office. You don't have to be so hostile. You shackled me to this chair. I can't move even if I wanted to. Stop being a dick. I listen closely as the guard's footsteps fade away. Once I know he's gone, I quickly twist my wrist and free myself from the restraints. He really made sure they were tight. My wrists are killing me, and this chair is as comfortable as a rock. My eyes are drawn to the leather chair behind the desk. Without hesitating, I turn around and make myself comfortable. I cross my legs as I sit. This bitch. Now this is better. Zane's office. Large stacks of files are meticulously arranged on the desk by size. A few loose papers are perfectly aligned at the corners. They're held in place by a paperweight. I need you guys to understand how this just reads like somebody, when they made his character, took a description of a Virgo and just copy pasted it. I was like, so this is his character. 'Cause that's crazy. My right hand can easily reach the pen holder because of its current position. As I sit here, I can almost imagine Zane's workday. From veterinarian at Oxo Clinic to warden. Looks like he found his own path during these 5 years. I wheel the chair between the bookshelves and scan the contents. Amongst the tomes in a small box sticks out like a sore thumb. Are these candies? Your boy will always have a sweet tooth. Just as I am leaning to get a closer look, footsteps resound outside the door. Oh. I rush back to my original chair and pick up the discarded restraints. Panicking, I try to put them back on so it looks like I never moved. You think he's not gonna know you move things? But I'm a second too late. This man could do unspeakable things to me. Okay, we're back on track. As Zane walks into the office, he sees I'm in the middle of wrapping the heavy restraints around my arms.
What are you doing?
I'm helping you check to see if these are working properly. What about you? Why are you here? Being a veterinarian didn't work out, so you became a warden instead? To mask my guilt, I decided to go on the offense and question Zane first.
I suppose it's also difficult to be an enforcer, since you switched career paths. I see prison happened to be your first choice.
Zane walks to the desk and methodically empties the evidence bag. My enforcer badge and phone emerge. He then retrieves a file box from the bookshelf and places its contents on the desk.
You smuggled frenzy enhancer. The life of an enforcer is more exciting than I imagined.
He's so pretty. Sorry. Do I just roll my chair forward? I take 2 steps forward and close the file. I was framed. I've never done stuff like that. The LCBI's procedures are strange this time around. They never presented any evidence or witnesses. I didn't even get interrogated.
When the charges, evidence, and witnesses are fabricated, presenting them is almost pointless.
Yeah, you're right.
As for these irregularities you spoke of, to a majority of people who are unfamiliar with these procedures, it would appear the LCBI is eager to punish a law-breaking employee. They can easily spin this story to the public as them responsibly cleaning house.
So are you siding with the LCBI, Warden? You don't plan to release me? I had no idea a person's guilt could be decided so easily. I'm impressed with the justice system's efficiency. I deliberately say each word slowly. Defiant, I furrow my brow and lock eyes with Zane. Will I have a better chance of achieving my goal if I stopped here and voluntarily brought up our past? Maybe. But I can't bring myself to use our time together as leverage in this situation. I don't know why.
Why don't we listen to this first?
What? Zane slightly lowers his head, reaches into a desk drawer, and pulls out a voice recorder. He slides it across the table toward me and presses the play button.
These are voices from within the LCBI. I would assume you're more familiar with them than I am.
The bureau chief, the operations sector manager, and the enforcer who arrested me. The recording details the entire process of a plot to frame me. My arrest and imprisonment are their crowning achievements. While I don't experience this every day, I get to listen to people scheming against me.
You'll inevitably be more eye-catching when you're in a high position.
Thanks. I barely had the chance to shine before they decided to get rid of me. What a grand spectacle I turned out to be. You don't plan on handing over that voice recorder, right? By letting me listen to it, you're trying to see if you can make a deal with me.
You're quick on the uptake. It seems you matured a little since then.
My pet turtle! Can you go get my pet turtle? Zane proposes I become his informant within the prison. My objective is to get close to a certain prisoner. His name is Levi. He's a former employee of Ever's Biological Science Research Department. 5 years ago, he was involved in a series of classified experiments. Rumors suggest that after those experiments, the Predator virus first appeared in Lincoln and began to spread uncontrollably.
You need to obtain a list of personnel from him. It will ideally name everyone involved with the classified experiments. I believe that with your investigation skills, gaining his trust shouldn't pose much of a challenge. Once you complete this task, I can either clear your name or create a fake identity so you can leave Lincoln City. The choice is yours.
Noticing my hesitation, Zane sits down and slides the voice recorder toward me again.
I could simply give you this and let you walk out. However, the people targeting you won't give up so easily. You might have the misfortune of getting more than just a prison sentence next time.
What if I told everyone that the warden is a predator and he's secretly running a prison filled with other predators? I know it's an empty threat, but I can't help but push my luck.
Go ahead. Let's see who they're more likely to believe. The warden, or a prisoner accused of smuggling frenzy enhancer.
You got a point. I don't have a choice. I don't really have a choice. I hate this. It happens like every card. I don't understand. You're less like a doctor and more like a wolf wearing a white coat.
Why, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
You should. It's cute. I take the voice recorder. My frustration is obvious as I rack my brain for a way to gain the upper hand in this conversation. We'll discuss what happens after our deal once I succeed. If you want my help, then you should let me set some conditions.
So long as they're within my jurisdiction, we can discuss them.
In that case, I want my pet turtle. I want special meals at night. I want my pet turtle. It's the only correct answer. I want you to bring my pet turtle here. Sure, it'll live for a long time, but it doesn't mean it can survive without food and water. I also I don't have anyone who can take care of it in my place.
All right.
Oh wait, we can do all of them? One special meal. I want special meals prepared for me every night. The slop they serve in the prison cafeteria is too miserable for my stomach. Fried chicken, barbecue skewers, hot pot steak. Don't you crave foods like that after spending so much time in prison?
I'm not a prisoner. I can have all of those whenever I leave this place.
All right. Rub it in. Then why don't you take me?
The answer is no.
Yeah, that's fair. I freely move around. Aside from the usual prison stuff, I want to freely move around.
What will you do with this freedom?
I don't know. I narrow my eyes and reveal a mischievous smile. I can do a lot of things. Maybe I'll walk around when I'm bored, or I'll secretly observe the warden all day.
I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. My workday isn't exactly riveting. Considering our need to monitor certain individuals, however, I suppose I could allow it.
I just had a realization, and it's not going to make much sense, but I'm going to say it because I have to get it out of my brain. I play GTA RP. It's Grand Theft Auto, but like an RP server, so you're role-playing. Anyways, I do GTA RP. And one of my characters got married to a guy who's so much like Zane. And in, like, presently, he is, like, command of... He's a command member at the prison. He works at the prison. I'm having deja vu. Anyways, that's really funny to me. I have a type. I have a type. I have a specific character that I like and is my type, and I zone in on it. I can't.
Whether or not the guards will cooperate, it's hard to say.
I want a private cell. Preferably one quietly tucked away in a corner. Zane rubs his fingertips as if to contemplate. I don't know if I'm imagining things, but I can see a hint of amusement playing at the corners of his mouth.
All right. Keeping you away from the other inmates will lower the chances of any incidents occurring by 50%.
All right. I am the textbook example of a law-abiding citizen. I would never stir up trouble on purpose.
Perhaps. However, when self-defense is involved, I'm afraid that's another story.
I hold out my hand to Zane. I look forward to working with you, Mr. Warden.
Likewise, Miss Informant.
Oh, before I forget, I have one more thing to add to my list of conditions. Can I take this box of candy with me before I go? No. He's gonna be like, no. I see a crack in Zane's usually stoic expression. Stop. No.
You can.
Oh my god, who is this man? He gave us his candy. The prison the warden manages is under the court system's jurisdiction. All captured predators in Lincoln are here. The warden himself is mysterious and rarely appears in prison unless it's absolutely necessary. The fact very few people have seen him was often discussed in whispers during my time at the LCBI. Now that I think about it, his reputation for being mysterious and rarely appearing probably stems from two things. First, Zane has always been this way, and he needs to hide the fact he's a predator. There's no way I believe working with Zane will go smoothly. But no matter how much I prepare myself, I didn't expect my first challenge to be... To be what?
Why don't you sit with me, boss?
I want to throw up.
Don't listen to him, boss. Sit over here instead.
Are you calling me boss? The way the first guy talked, I'm just like, I have the ick. In the cafeteria, I stand with my tray. I'm not sure how to deal with the eager faces blocking my path.
Boss, tell us how you managed to survive the warden's interrogation.
I don't like you.
Come on, share your secrets. You're the first one we've ever seen come back alive. The people before who met him, well, they're dead now.
Wait, has Zane been doing this? What has Zane been doing in his prison? These inmates are probably two-faced. They'll say something else when my back is turned. I shouldn't get too involved with them. Excuse me, move out of the way, please. I don't have anything else to share. I'm more concerned about getting food in my stomach. I'm about to shake them off when I spot my target. Levi is standing in a sea of people. Well, if you really want to know about my experience, it's nothing too extraordinary. I clear my throat, and sure enough, Levi turns his gaze toward me. I'll make my presence known for now, then I can try to talk to him in private later. First things first, you need to keep your cool. Don't let him see you sweat if you're negotiating. Then you need to have a useful skill or two, like lockpicking. Trust me, when you're restrained to a chair, knowing how to pick a lock can be the difference between life and death. That scared the fuck out of me. A familiar chuckle rises from the crowd. For a moment, I think my ears are playing tricks on me. When I find the owner, I know I'm not seeing things. Zane is standing right in front of me. However... You bitch. You bitch!
That guy's fresh meat, boss. I don't know why he's here, but they say he's one of the predators with a laundry list of crimes.
He's smart. Wait, boy, you could have done this thing yourself. That's probably what.
Can you move over? I want to eat here.
He's already marking his territory? This baby's got some guts.
He's already marking his territory. Can mark my territory. Sorry, I'm shocked. Then I look at Zane and mouth to him. Don't tell me you're just. Don't tell me you're here just to see me squirm. How close is he going to be? Okay, not too close. Zane glances in my direction but doesn't respond. Instead, he calmly navigates through the crowd and sits next to me. He starts eating his meal as if he doesn't have a care in the world. Alright, show's over. Beat it. I need to talk to our new friend here.
You're doing well behind bars. As expected of an enforcer.
That's weird. Why would they? Well, I have someone's notorious reputation to thank for that. One quick trip to the office put me above everyone else.
Are you referring to those rumors?
Oh, rumors?
They're nothing more than necessary deterrents against the predators.
I'm about to chuckle at his remark when I notice Levi is still watching me. I quickly compose myself and look at Zane with a stern expression.
He knows who you are. You're the renowned enforcer from the LCBI. The media covered your exploits in apprehending the predators.
Oh, then did you watch their reports?
There were so many of them. It was hard not to.
Oh my god, I did so good. I bet the headlines only talk about the murder of that councilman now, though. She knows! I observe Zane's face to see if there's any sort of reaction. Unsurprisingly, he remains unfazed. He doesn't even pause in his meticulous efforts to remove every last carrot from his meal. This man's sitting there just like, carrot. Honestly, if it were me, I would take them and start like flicking them at other prisoners. That's a child. That's a childish response. But like, I need to entertain myself. We're in prison. So even the high and mighty warden is a picky eater.
Food preferences aren't limited by one's rank.
I'm opening a drink, so if you hear something weird, just ignore it. Be honest with me. Why are you interested in that list of personnel?
Does it matter to you?
Maybe. Of course, we're working together, so we should at least be honest with each other. You seem to know everything about me, but I'm in the dark when it comes to you. This kind of one-sided partnership doesn't inspire confidence. Zane sets down his chopsticks, and his expression becomes solemn.
I need to recover the solution that can cure the predators of their disease. Long before everything began, the lab researching protocore veins had already discovered it might be the cause. The formula for the solution was also nearly complete. It was when Ever stepped in and conducted those secret experiments that the radiation leak occurred, along with the theft of the formula.
So you believe the culprit is involved with those experiments? Zane nods. It's possible, but how do you know all of this?
I was one of the researchers.
Oh!
Did my honesty put you at ease?
Not really. I actually did not see that coming. That's actually a great plot twist. My chopsticks freeze in midair as I'm about to eat. I'm stunned by this bombshell that was casually dropped. My brain short circuits for a moment. Gathering my thoughts, I brace myself. She is so me. I tried to ask more questions while pretending to be calm. So the murders of those officials and businessmen who profited from the predator virus were also because...
Lunchtime's over!
we didn't even eat.
You certainly became quite the investigator.
Wait, one last question. Boop. Hi. He gets up to leave. I grab the hem of his shirt. What shirt? Let's be real. What's your... Why are you pretending to be a prisoner?
It's because my informant seems to have made a few enemies here.
My god, he's protecting me. Wow. That's crazy. Thanks, Pookie. It's nap time. Are we in prison or preschool? I have a lot of questions. I lie back on the bed after feeding my turtle, but I'm still wide awake. I can't sleep. Zane, he's... I wonder how many new looming shadows he got in the past 5 years. I'm not sure if he's still the person I once knew so well. What's his goal? Will he use the solution to save people? Would it be naive of me to assume that? Maybe he wants to profit from this too. Restless and anxious, I toss and turn in bed. Something under my pillow digs into my cheek. I lift up the pillow and find the box of candy I took from Zane's office. It's tasty. As the sweetness floods my mouth, my suspicions about him slowly melt away. Someone with a sweet tooth can't be a villain, right? Who comes up with that as a theory? Getting close to someone and digging up information is child's play for me. Then do it. Day 2. It's yard time, and the surveillance camera's blind spot. I rub my wrist and nudge the predator's inmates I took down aside with my foot. Then I extend my hand to Levi, who's huddled in the corner. All right, I dealt with all of them. You can get up now. I notice the syringe he's trying to hide. Chuckling, I take it from him and turn it over in my hands. Frenzy Enhancer. One shot turns a predator into a raging powerhouse. It's the go-to choice for a prison break. Giving out Frenzy Enhancer in prison? You live up to your reputation for being an ever employee. But you're terrible at this. Your clients are threatening you before you settle on a price. You suck at being a drug dealer.
Why did you butt in? It's none of your business. You're not an enforcer anymore. You have no right to touch me.
I saved your ass. Shut up. Of course, I won't lay a finger on you, but... I turn Levi around and direct his attention to Zane, who's sitting nearby. Same can't be said about him. Did you know? He got himself thrown in here so he can kill you. Ooh, spicy. He's like, what'd you say? That's so funny. Wait, did you hear that? Did he hear it? As Zane looks over, I meet his gaze and silently urge him to play along with the story I made up to win Levi's trust. He's like, well, okay. Fine. Levi's like, oh, fuck.
What do you want?
Music is so funny to me. Isn't it obvious? I threw myself into a cell to protect you. I lean towards Levi's ear and make sure my words are oozed with sincerity. Even though you're a predator, Ever hasn't given up on you. Oh, okay. Levi remains on high alert. A made-up story isn't enough to lower his guard. It'll take a while for me to win his trust and get him to talk about the list of names I need. Meanwhile, Zane uses his authority as the warden and orders a crackdown on Frenzy Enhancer in the prison. He's subtly pushing Levi into a corner. I bide my time. It won't be long until Levi comes to me. However, I didn't anticipate things to go the way they did. Man, what happened? What you do? What's going on over there?
Someone trying to break out with Frenzy Enhancer. Again.
I'm sorry, that's so funny. Someone's trying to break out with Frenzy Enhancer. Again. Like, he's so done with it.
That stuff is bad. I tried it once and nearly lost it. I almost turned into a monster, you know? Luckily, I managed to keep it together.
Well, good for you. Didn't ask. I'm about to ignore the whole thing until I see Zane standing in the crowd. I hesitate before deciding to approach him. As I get closer, a bone-chilling cold envelops me. A shiver runs down my spine. Oh. A razor-sharp icicle. Oh. Oh. A razor-sharp icicle erupts from the ground and impales the inmate, driven insane by the frenzy enhancer. Okay. A swarm of prison guards rushes to the scene with weapons and riot shields. They quickly form an impenetrable barrier around the exit. Zane glances at the predators lying on the ground, then his gaze shifts to the one still standing.
Whose side are you on? Are you one of us? Or just a puppet? If you're on our side, then why the hell are you killing your fellow predators? I swear, I'm getting out of here today. Whatever it takes.
Zane really wants to just bomb the prison. The frenzied inmate injects the frenzy enhancer into his neck. He can't handle the violent stimulation and is overwhelmed by the sudden surge of strength. He falls to his knees, but in the next second, it's as if an invisible force yanks him up. Like a zombie, he lunges at Zane. Why is Zane just, like, not bothered?
They're dead.
All the predators' inmates have backed away. They leave Zane alone as he stands in the grisly scene of ice and blood. Wary, surprised, and murderous gazes all fixate on Zane. The air crackles with tension. He could become the target of their collective wrath at any moment. A voice inside me screams that I have to get him out. I can't leave him here. Zane. When Zane sees me, his emotionless expression flickers for a moment.
Don't just stand there.
Okay. I'll help you. I grab his wrist and pull him away from the chaotic mess. I hep. Dodging the watchful eyes of the prison guards, I decided to lead Zane to his office, the safest place I can think of. But after guiding him through the corridors for what I feel like an eternity, I realize I don't know how to get to his office from here.
Are you giving me a tour of my own prison?
No, I'm lost.
Perhaps I should show you around instead.
You know what? Sure. That sounds cute. Show me your prison. Watchtower Summit. Oh my god, he is. He's taking us on a date in prison. Wow. I need to chill. It's late. The prison, still reeling from the recent incident, is steeped in an uneasy silence. From the top of the watchtower, I gaze down at the courtyard. The chaos from earlier seems small and distant. You probably have a target on your back now. Everyone will be watching you and waiting for an opportunity to strike. I'm not in the mood to appreciate the night's scenery. Instead, I lean against the railing as I look at Zane.
And by dragging me away in front of everyone, you're in the same boat as me.
But I'm close to getting my hands on that list. This whole thing will be over soon.
In that case, congratulations. You'll be free soon.
I shake my head. There's no real freedom here. The city before us is like a scale model. The northern and southern districts are divided as two distinct cages within the same skyline. Zane, is there a place you'd like to see? Have you ever thought about leaving Lincoln?
No.
Though I had a feeling he'd say that, hearing it still makes me really smile. You have a knack for shutting down conversations. It's quiet for a bit, then I take a step toward him. My feet touch Zane's shadow. When this is all over, do you want to leave with me?
Where do you want to go?
Oh my god, they're so cute! Sorry. I haven't really thought about that much. about it that much, but I know I won't be staying in Lincoln. Maybe I'll head to a small, remote town. It'll be a place without any predators. As I ponder this, Zane asks another question.
What do you think the LCBI will do once they catch the serial killer they've been chasing after for 5 years?
Interrogation, detention, trial, and conviction. The specific charges would determine the final outcome.
I imagine it won't end well for him.
So real. It's so funny she says this. But the LCBI is full of cowards. I'm the only one who dared to go after you.
Is that so?
And he's like, oh, so you know. I don't know the answer. I notice his slightly downcast gaze and realize something. I might not be able to take him with me. I look away and gaze at the Southern District in the distance, where Oxo Clinic is located. Do you want to end this as a guilty man? Would you rather leave your past behind and start anew? He doesn't answer, or maybe his response is carried away by the wind that howls around us. After the small riot, Zane and I become the most feared individuals in the entire prison. Levi should have felt the same way. However, the rapport we built over the past few months was what solidified his trust in me. She been in there for a few months? Jesus. Maybe seeing Zane kill a predator got to him. The next morning, he gave me the list of names I was after. And just like that, I finished my task. At lunch, I place a carrot on Zane's tray. It's a signal we agreed on. Yet, as we sit across from each other, I find myself wishing our farewell could be delayed for a little while longer.
"0905. It's time for the warden's interrogation."
Again? As night falls, Zane summons me to the interrogation room using his authority as warden. It's all part of the plan. That's weird. Once the guard's footsteps fade, I easily slip out of my restraints again. There are rumors about me escaping the warden's interrogations unscathed. This is the first time in the interrogation room. While waiting for Zane, I pace back and forth. My attention is drawn to the array of interrogation tools mounted on the walls. No wonder Zane has such a fearsome reputation. He has a wide variety of gadgets. Handcuffs, whips. That's crazy. What's this? I haven't seen anything like it before.
It's a clamp.
Oh. Zane, what are you into? I'm just curious. Just curious. I turn around and see Zane standing right behind me. He had entered the interrogation room without making a sound.
It's typically used to clamp a prisoner's fingers, so it can inflict intense pain.
Typically. I hate she's asking. Was it not typically used for it?
It can be hung on the wall as a decoration.
Zane, you know what you're doing. You know you can't answer the way that you want to answer, but it's fine. As he speaks, he takes a seat at the table off to the side. Only then do I notice the steaming hot food that will serve as a midnight snack. Is that supposed to be my last meal?
If that's what you want to call it.
Having what could potentially be my last meal while surrounded by torture devices. This is definitely a first. With a slight smile, I relayed the names Levi had given me to Zane. Once I finish listing everything, an unusual silence falls over the interrogation room. It's only broken by the occasional simmering from the soup. I don't want to go.
The seventh provision, which discusses the containment of predators, will be in effect starting tomorrow. Certain predator organizations have already issued warnings about their retaliation. In other words, Lincoln can no longer be considered a safe place after tomorrow.
I'll wait until the chaos dies down before...
You need to leave before then.
What I was about to say dies in my throat. I sigh, nod, and swallow the rest of my words. If I abruptly leave, the inmates will think I died during the warden's interrogation.
I'll fabricate a plausible charge for you.
5 years ago, I never could have imagined that I'd leave Lincoln as a criminal. Back then, I blink. 5 years felt like an eternity. I can barely recall why I went to the Northern District in the first place. I thought that by becoming an enforcer, then operations sector manager, and eventually bureau chief, I could make Lincoln a slightly better place. Looking back, I see how incredibly naive those thoughts were.
Some things aren't easy to accomplish.
You told me the same thing 5 years ago.
Yet I was just as naive as you were back then.
Lost in his memory, Zane lowers his head with a faint smile. As he recalls the past, his features appear noticeably softer.
When I still worked at the clinic, I believed that the solution would solve everything. But the effects of the mental anomalies had long since transcended the physical realm. Lincoln City was split in two, not just because of the mutations.
Is that why you chose to become the warden? I pick up my drink and gently clink it against the rim of Zane's glass. To who we were 5 years ago.
To who we were 5 years ago.
I love them. I don't want to go. My farewell with Zane is as serene as I have anticipated. After finishing our meal, we climb the watchtower once more. We silently... I didn't get to read that. For the past few months, I felt like I had stepped into a snow globe where time was frozen. It wasn't until I left the prison that I realized winter had silently crept into Lincoln City. At home, I found myself in another snow globe of sorts. I rarely went outside for weeks. I lost myself in travel websites as I searched for a new place to call home. Several months later, breaking news appeared on every major news outlet. Edver had collapsed, and in its demise, the solution capable of curing the predators was made public. A long-standing bureau was finally crumbling. I knew Zane was involved with this. As people flooded the streets, a photographer captured a poignant moment. An ordinary citizen and a predator tightly embracing each other. That night, I received a special delivery. It was a folder containing my prisoner information, the no identity Zane prepared for me, and a voice recorder that could prove my innocence. The new life I yearned for had finally arrived. The day before I leave Lincoln City, I can't resist dialing the number Zane gave me 5 years ago. I know no one will answer it. For the past 5 years, I only heard the lifeless beeping of a busy signal whenever I called. But even if I only hear that, I still want to listen to it one more time before I leave. To my surprise, the call actually goes through this time.
What is it?
Hi. It's nothing. I looked at the file. You came up with an impressive crime for me. I skirt around the real reason for my call. I idly flip through the file as I try to sound lighthearted.
You attempted to assassinate the warden, so you were killed on the spot. After all, the public sees him as a cruel, ruthless individual. No one would question the authenticity of the charge.
I guess I contributed to the warden's fearsome reputation. But aren't you worried about blowing your cover as a serial killer? What will the warden do in that scenario? The other end of the call is silent for a few seconds, then Zane speaks again. He changes the subject.
When are you leaving Lincoln?
I'll be on a plane tomorrow morning. He has no intention of telling me anything else.
Have you decided where you'll settle down?
Yes. It's a small city that's far away from Lincoln. The winters are long there, but it's somehow always warm. Carefully choose my words, but I really want to ask if there will be a second reunion for us.
It sounds like a wonderful place.
Knowing he won't give me a definitive answer, I can't bring myself to ask about our future. The words never leave my lips, even as our conversation comes to an end. Girl, why you doing this? My flight has been delayed until this evening. Thanks to the delay, I got a call from my ex-subordinate. It's related to the warden. All of Lincoln is in an uproar because of it. The warden, Zane, is actually... What did he do? The warden, Zane, is actually the SSS class predator's serial killer, Galen, whom authorities have been pursuing. As the perpetrator responsible for the deaths of multiple citizens, Zane's trial will be conducted with all of Lincoln watching. A new era is on the horizon, and his execution no. Nope. Why would a serial killer they couldn't catch for 5 years unless... Forcing myself to calm down, I leave my home. My pace quickens until I break into a run. I need to see Zane one last time. I need to hear the truth from him. I need to know, can he actually end everything without regrets? I don't like this. While I'm no longer an enforcer, flashing my old badge is enough to get me past the unsuspecting guards. I navigate through the prison's corridors on a path I've walked countless times before and make my way up to the 7th floor. Zane has shut himself away in the interrogation room. It's the very same one where we said goodbye. I'll cry. I push open the door and there he is, that familiar figure I haven't seen in a long time. Hearing me enter, he turns around. Surprise flashes across his face before his typical calm demeanor appears.
I recall you saying you'd be on a plane this morning.
So you deliberately waited until it was evening to release the news. That way I wouldn't find out.
Your presence here means my plan failed.
Yes, it did. Your plan? My throat tightens. I'm not sure if what I feel is anger, but my fists are so tightly clenched that they start to hurt. You never intended to survive this. You've been planning it to end it all, including yourself.
Every TV channel, newspaper, and radio station is announcing it. A new era will arrive with the breaking dawn. Lincoln is being set on the correct path. The murders and crimes of the past must also be eliminated. I thought you, as an enforcer, would understand that criminals must be punished for their past deeds.
The criminals have been punished. The predators and the ordinary people get to live in peace. And Lincoln City will be ushered into a new era. But what about you? I take a step toward him to close the distance. Our heavy breaths mingle in the air between us. No. Zane, have you gained anything from this? Every time he takes a breath of air, I'm like, are we getting closer? Yeah. He doesn't answer. I take another step. Don't you want anything in this life? Stop talking about Lincoln, the virus, the solution. What I want to know is related to you, Zane. Have you ever wanted anything for yourself?
Are you here because you wanted to ask me that question?
I love how we keep getting closer. What if I say yes? Will you answer me then? I look up at him. We're so close to each other that our shadows merge into one. About to take another step when Zane suddenly furrows his brow. Grimacing, he turns away.
You should go.
Why? No, I won't leave until you answer me. But Zane, are you okay? Are you okay? Noticing Zane's unusual expression, I grab his wrist. His skin is burning hot to the— oh my god, they did— I've seen this animation before. He's about to go into a frenzy.
I told you. You should go.
I'm not— no, I refuse. I refuse. I refuse. I walk away and lock the door to the interrogation room. Oh. They said that when a predator goes into a frenzy, the desire to have what they truly want overwhelms them. Zane, have you ever gone into a frenzy before?
No. I know how to control myself.
You implanted an activator in yourself, didn't you?
But that doesn't mean a predator like me won't harm the person standing in front of them.
I won't become a predator.
You'll die.
You already killed me once before. But damn. You accused me of trying to assassinate the warden. Haven't gotten a chance to see if I could actually do it. I grab the chains hanging from the ceiling of the interrogation room and wrap them around Zane's wrists. Do you have to restrain yourself all the time?
Is that what you want me to do?
No. At least that's not what I want right now. If we get any closer to him, this is not safe. Not safe. You ever think you hear something and it freaks you out? I don't like it. He doesn't resist and allows me to restrain him. I have no idea what's going on in his head. But I'll find out soon enough. Zane grabs another chain and hands it to me. As he does this, I notice his gaze becoming more intense. His breathing is more ragged. He's going into a frenzy. Oh god, okay.
If you're trying to break someone's chains, don't be afraid of the danger they bring.
Okay, there's quick time events. But wow. Face card. Never decline. See if I can do this pretty well. I'm okay. I'm alright. You know what? I can't look over there. I'm gonna panic. Okay. I'm fine. I did it. I hit the screen when I didn't need to, but I
Have you thought about the consequences?
Yes. I did. Why am I so close?
This isn't a game.
I know. He's gonna come at me again. Where? Hello?
I don't know what I'll do to you.
Whoop. I'm going over here. Hello. You're going to hurt yourself.
Frenzy enhancer? You're going to use it on me?
Yes, the warden should be well aware of the effects it has. That smile's crazy. Do you see that? What is he doing? What do you... I don't like it here. Why would she do this? I need to be here. Quick time events. Stop holding yourself back. Oh. Okay. Drag. Hello. I guess I'm trying to... Hello? Pardon? Pardon? dumb.
Let me take what I desire first.
Ah! Scared me. Okay.
Why don't you touch me and find out?
Deal. Okay. If I can do it. I know, I'm sorry. I love you. That's crazy. Oh my god. Get back in the safe zone. Thank you. Get back. I got distracted. I was not paying attention.
What will you do next?
I don't know. Boop.
Impressive.
I'm so not well.
Don't stop.
Girl! Excuse- Oh dear. Oh dear, oh no. Oh dear, oh my. Wait.
No. There's only one thing left to do.
Oh, I have to wait. Oh. Where was that?
Become my prisoner. Or my master.
I fear the writers flew too close to the sun. What do you mean?
You can never leave me.
I have a question. Are Zane girls okay? Are Zane girlies you good? Zane girlies, are you welfare check? Are you okay? Are you okay? I'm not okay. I'm not okay. Whatever the bad ending to his card is, she did it to herself. So therefore, cool. Winter returns once more. As I watch the light snow falling outside my window, it dawns on me. Another year has passed since Zane and I parted ways in that interrogation room. In the aftermath of that day, is this supposed to be the good ending? I walked away on my own, the bitter truth that I couldn't take him with me. I'd known that all along. Even when he confessed that I was what he wanted, it wouldn't have stopped him. He's always been this way. Deep down, I've known it from the start. After moving to this small town, I severed almost all ties with Lincoln City. I made a conscious effort to avoid any news about him too. I convinced myself that if I didn't see anything about him, I wouldn't think about him anymore. Then this morning, someone told me that a new doctor in town had opened a small clinic called AXO just a few blocks away. I rush home, snatch up my pet turtle from its cozy sunbathing spot, and dash off to AXO. After a year apart, the silhouette I yearn for is finally before me once more.
What is it?
Dr. Zane, I think my turtle might be sick. It's been really lethargic. It doesn't even want to sunbathe anymore. You take a look at it. Trying to hide the fact I'm breathless from my sprint, I stand in front of him. I gaze lands on his face.
Miss, this clinic only treats human patients.
I see. Detecting a hint of amusement in his voice, I can't help but mirror his smile. Well, I think I'm coming down with something. Would you mind giving me a checkup? In the evening, I return with a bag of snacks from the store. The kitchen light is on and Zane is cooking steak. My turtle watches him through the glass partition between the doorway and the kitchen. My smile hurts. I'm home. I peek into the kitchen. Zane stops what he's doing and faces me.
You can cut the cake. It's on the dining table.
What's the occasion? I walk over to the dining table where a freshly baked cake sits. Its enticingly sweet aroma permeates the room.
Today is a special day.
The cake is inscribed with the words, "Happy New Beginning" for Melody.
Happy new beginning.
Again, like my cheeks hurt. Like it's so good, and now I'm just gonna hurt myself by watching the bad ending. I don't want it. I don't want it. Who's ready to cry? Let's get this over with. Just get it over with. Just get it over with. Sit here and drink my little drinkity drink. Pretend everything's fine. And then I'm not just gonna hurt my own feelings by watching the bad ending. I should have probably done the bad ending first so I could get that out of the way and then do the happy ending. But I'm doing the canon ending first because I believe I am in my
If you're
happiness.
trying to break someone's chains, don't be afraid of the danger they bring.
The bad ending is so rude. If she dies, that's the worst thing in the world for this whole situation. Well, actually, wait. If I don't get this, she doesn't inject him, so he kills her without the frenzy. So it's not our fault. Never mind. I try. Wait. But he... They give you so much time.
Stop.
They give you so
Leave
much
while
time.
you still have the chance.
They give you so much time. Wait. There's a bad ending if you pass this.
Condemning me, but you're the one at fault.
You're right. Hold on. Wait, is there... It's the same bad ending. Well, no.
Stop. Leave while you still have the chance.
I don't have a chance. I want to go away. Is there two types of bad ending? If you if you don't hit it in time, is there a bad ending? See, there's too many things to do. I'm not... As my consciousness begins to fade, I feel a searing kiss on my lips. Oh God. He seems to be saying something, but I can't hear his words. I'm not sure how much time has passed before the pain from my bite wound jolted me awake. I find myself alone in the interrogation room. Zane is gone. Unable to find him, I have no choice but to leave the prison. I catch my delayed flight and bid farewell to Lincoln City, my childhood home. I settled down in a small town and focus on finding a quieter life. I hate it. I never see Zane again. I avoid the news report that's related to him. So long as they don't look, he might still exist in this world. Snow greased this town for the winter. Frost blooms on my window and obscures the scenery outside. The muddled sight reminds me of when my vision blurred after Zane bit me. Suddenly I recall what Zane said to me in the interrogation room.
Goodbye.
I'm actually gonna cry. No, they're happy. They're living in this little town with their pet turtle. I hate. No. I'm alright. I'm literally fine. I started crying. That's so bad. Okay. The endings are the same, but I guess you get an animation from Kindle 3. Is that what it is? I don't want to see it. I'm gonna be so for real with you. I don't want to live that again. I don't need it. I feel like somebody's gonna tell me I'm missing something. I'm missing like content, and I'm just gonna be like, do I look like I care? I'm crying. So I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. This is rude. That's rude. But, you know, doing the good ending. That was hot. Anyway. Those handcuffs, whips, and clamps were definitely put to use for another thing in the good ending. Goodbye!